On July 18, 1:13 a.m., someone knocked once and left a black note at your door. Check the corners of your entrance. Archangel Michael says, "Be still and pay attention." Something was set in motion at exactly 1:13 a.m. on July 18, when a single knock shattered the silence of the night and a black note was quietly placed at your door. This was no ordinary message. It carried an energy, a signature of unseen eyes, a code of dark intentions cloaked in deceptive calm. You may not have heard it, or perhaps you brushed it off as a dream. But the silence that followed that knock was filled with signals. Whoever left it didn't want to be seen, they wanted the message to linger, to unsettle your soul, to make you second-guess your reality. Look again at the corners of your entrance. There is something there. A faint scratch, a symbol, a smudge of something unfamiliar. Small indicators meant to go unnoticed unless you were told to search. You weren't meant to find that note easily. It was left in the shadows to test your awareness, to measure your readiness. But now, Archangel Michael breaks the veil, revealing what they hoped you'd ignore. The person who left that black note is someone who knows you well, but not face to face. They've been watching from a distance, tracking your footsteps, measuring your strength and silence. They are not after your possessions, they're after your energy. This note wasn't a threat in plain words. It was a frequency, a spiritual disturbance encoded into ink and paper. Anyone else reading it would find it empty, but to you, it pulls like a whisper in your chest, urging you to remember something you thought you forgot. Archangel Michael says this moment is not random. There was a spiritual convergence that happened between 1:11 a.m. and 1:13 a.m. That was the window in which they summoned the courage to come near. You were spiritually asleep, but your soul was not. It saw them. Your home is marked, not in fear, but in curiosity. They are trying to test the layers of light you're wrapped in. And that knock wasn't just a signal, it was a ritual, a psychic handshake, done without consent. Go to the door again. This time, breathe deeply before opening it. There is residue, an energy that has clung to the door frame, and especially near the bottom left corner. They brushed their fingers there before leaving. It was a spiritual imprint meant to open a doorway of vulnerability. But they miscalculated something. Your protection was stronger than they assumed. Archangel Michael was already stationed nearby, and what they attempted to plant at your threshold did not grow. It decayed under divine resistance. However, the attempt has been recorded in the spiritual realm. A name has been filed. Their intent is being watched. But you must stay alert now, because this won't be the last knock. The black note may not contain visible writing. Some messages are sent in spiritual ink, activated only when read under heightened awareness. If you kept it, bring it under soft light. Smell it. Hold it gently. The vibrations will reveal more than the surface ever could. Archangel Michael says, this is your test of discernment. In the days to come, distractions will increase. People will suddenly show interest in you. Conversations will circle back to past events you thought were closed. All of this will trace back to what happened at 1:13 a.m. The person who left the note has ties to a group that once harmed someone in your family line. This is karmic. This is generational. They believe you are the key to finishing something they failed to complete decades ago. But they are wrong. because something inside you woke up that night. You may have felt restless afterward, your dreams chaotic or forgotten. That was your soul activating shields. Your ancestors stood up when the knock came. You were never alone. Still, you must be cautious. Check your electronics. Check the locks again. Walk around the perimeter of your home. There may be small signs, ashes, a broken twig in an unusual place, an object turned slightly. These are not accidents. The person who did this wore gloves not to leave fingerprints but to mask energy traces. But their shoes touched your earth. The soil knows them. The air remembers them. Their vibration was recorded. Someone very close to you may soon bring up a strange topic, almost innocently. It will sound like small talk, but it's bait. They were told to observe how you react when certain words are said. They do not realize you are being guided now by the highest light. Archangel Michael has now placed a spiritual firewall around your entrance. But your awareness must stay sharp. The black note was the beginning of a sequence. What comes next depends on your reaction now. You must not act in fear. That's what they hope for. Fear creates openings, but calm recognition closes doors they cannot force open. Your calm is your weapon now. You may start feeling pressure in your chest or warmth on your skin in certain areas of your home. Don't ignore it. Your body is now a sensor, alerting you to spiritual disturbances in real time. Something is being reversed in the spirit world because you opened this message. You weren't supposed to know. But now that you do, the enemy must recalibrate, and that gives you the upper hand. A woman connected to the one who knocked may try to visit you soon. She may offer help, advice, or pretend to have a coincidental reason to see you. Watch her eyes. She will flinch at your door, even slightly. That's your confirmation. This is not paranoia. This is prophecy. What began at 1:13 a.m. will culminate in a decision you will make at 1:13 p.m. in the coming days. Watch for that hour. Something hidden will surface. Archangel Michael says you are now in a phase of revelation. Your enemies think they are hidden, but heaven is peeling the layers back one by one, and you will soon see who they truly are. A neighbor knows more than they're letting on. They saw the figure that left the note but stayed silent. Soon, their guilt will become visible in their movements. Be still and let time reveal. Do not throw away the black note, even if it looks meaningless. Its material is spiritually coded. Burning it may release the energy it contains, so handle with care. Contain it in a glass jar if you still have it, or cleanse the spot where it rested with salt and light. This event is connected to a wider web. You are not the only one being tested, but you are the one who will break the chain. And your awareness is the sword. Archangel Michael has now reassigned an angel to your perimeter. You may feel this presence near the windows or hallway. It may come as a cool breeze, a flicker of light, or a whisper just beyond your hearing. This is protection in motion. Stay grounded. Stay observant. And remember, this wasn't random. This was spiritual chess. And now that you've seen the move, they must retreat, reorganize, and watch you with a new kind of fear. The next 72 hours are crucial. Pay attention to dreams, knocks, sounds, digital glitches, or even sudden cravings or illnesses. These can all be misdirection or insight. You'll know which is which by the calm inside your spirit. They never expected you to reach this level of awareness. But you just did. And that is the beginning of their undoing. If you wish to express your support further, you have the option to give super thanks, with contributions of up to $20. Stay protected. Stay awake. Stay in your power. Archangel Michael says, "You were marked that night not to be harmed but to be watched." The knock was more than a gesture. It was a code sent into the unseen world to test whether your shield could be pierced. They left the black note as a seed, hoping to awaken fear and confusion. What they didn't know is that your awareness was ready. You may have felt sudden chills, a heavy dream, or a strange urge to wake around that exact time. That was no coincidence. Your spiritual senses were being triggered. Even now, remnants of that energy linger at your threshold. It's subtle, like a shadow moving just out of sight. But your inner eye is opening wider now, and you are beginning to sense the truth behind what they intended to hide. There's a man involved, someone you don't speak to often, but whose name has come up in recent conversations. He is the messenger. He didn't plan this on his own, he was instructed. But his guilt has started to fester. Someone close to him has already warned him not to go further. There's panic behind his recent silence. He knows the spiritual alarm has gone off, and that you've started to become aware. You may find the black note appears to change subtly if you observe it closely again. The corners may curl strangely, or its weight may feel inconsistent. This is not imagination. Some items become vessels for energetic codes, meant to activate at different stages. Archangel Michael says, "You are now entering a window of clarity." But clarity comes with responsibility. You will be shown faces in dreams, names will come up suddenly, and people will behave oddly around you. These are signs. You must not doubt the intuition that rises in you. It is sharpening now. What once felt like anxiety is now divine discernment. Use it. At exactly 1:13 p.m. today or tomorrow, stand near the place where the knock happened. Take a deep breath. Close your eyes. You may feel a pulse or vibration rise under your feet. That is the moment the energy loop tries to re-enter. But this time, you will block it. Speak no fear, only stillness. This confuses the enemy. They expect you to panic or ask questions. But silence breaks their rhythm. You might notice animals behaving strangely. A bird tapping twice on the window. A dog growling at an empty space. A cat staring at the corner near your door. These are not random. These creatures sense what eyes cannot. You've entered what the ancients called the threshold hour, a space between realms where intentions clash and truth rises. At 1:13 a.m., a gateway was probed, but it was not fully opened. You were covered. Still, they will try again. Archangel Michael says your next steps must be intentional. Light a white candle at the entrance each evening for 3 days. Place sea salt at the outer corners of your doorstep. These are not rituals of fear, they are symbols of sovereignty. You are taking your ground back. A woman with red energy is behind this plan. She has been watching from a distance, not directly involved, but spiritually whispering through intermediaries. She holds a grudge not against you directly, but against what you represent. She failed at something decades ago. You are the mirror of her lost potential. She fears you will succeed where she collapsed. So she hides behind symbols and sends messages in black notes. You'll notice small delays in your life. Calls missed by seconds, emails not reaching, people forgetting appointments. These glitches are interference caused by lingering energies. Cleanse your digital space as well. Change one password. Delete a contact that drains you. Even this will shift the field. Archangel Michael says, you are not meant to hide from this. You are meant to transmute it. What was meant to shake you will now shape you. Keep your space clear. Avoid inviting new people into your home over the next few days. There's a reason you must protect your energetic atmosphere right now. Someone may come with the intention of helping, but unknowingly carry residuals of the one who knocked. A mirror in your home has recorded an image. You may catch something strange in a reflection. Do not be afraid. This is confirmation. Say nothing. Just acknowledge it, and ask Archangel Michael to seal the room. Dreams are now your greatest allies. You will start receiving fragments, incomplete but powerful. A face, a date, a single spoken word. Write it down. These pieces are assembling into a timeline only you can complete. The black note was only the beginning. There is another object, a small one, that was dropped or placed within a 5-foot radius of your door. It could be a coin, a nail, or a stone. You may not have seen it yet, but you will find it soon. That object was meant to seal the energy. Once removed, the portal attempt fails. Archangel Michael says a second knock may happen. If it does, do not answer immediately. Wait 7 seconds. Let the energy dissipate before opening. Then, when you open the door, say one thing out loud: I am sovereign. I am guarded. I am not afraid. This declaration breaks all hidden assignments. Someone in your family might dismiss your feeling or say it's nothing. Do not let their doubt infect your knowing. You are not being paranoid. You are being prepared. You've now passed a spiritual threshold. Things will feel clearer, but the next week will require courage. The knock was a seed, but your awareness is now the sword. Archangel Michael has placed a symbol above your door in the spirit realm. It looks like a white fire ring. Any entity that tries to pass must confront it first, and most will retreat when they feel the heat. In the coming days, your inner strength will rise. You may feel stronger, more alert, or even more emotional. Let it flow. You are shedding old layers and making space for divine fire. Be kind to yourself during this transition. Rest when needed. Hydrate more than usual. Your spiritual energy is expanding and it needs support. The person who orchestrated this believes they're hidden, but a revelation is coming soon. You will hear their name from someone else in a strange context. When you do, you will know. They left the black note not just as a warning, but as a test. They thought you'd crumble. Instead, you've awakened. The next 3 nights will carry spiritual importance. You may hear things that aren't physical, whispers, taps, even melodies. This is the realm reacting to your awakening. Let it pass. You are being attuned. And finally, Archangel Michael says, this was your turning point. From this moment on, the watchers have become the watched. The hunter has become the haunted. The power has shifted. You are no longer just protected. You are activated. and the black note will never hold power over you again. If you wish to express your support further, you have the option to give super thanks, with contributions of up to $20. Archangel Michael says, "You have now crossed the final veil of silence. The energy that was once lurking in the corners of your doorway is fading, not because it was destroyed, but because it fears what you have become. You are no longer the one waiting for answers. You are the one walking with truth. In the hours since the black note was placed, you've likely felt strange sensations, heat in your palms, sudden noises when no one is there, or an urge to stay home more than usual. These are not random. You've entered a spiritual recalibration, where the frequencies around you are realigning to divine clarity. The one who left the note had a deeper agenda than curiosity. They were testing an opening, an energetic weak point in your home caused by an emotional event you may have forgotten. Perhaps an argument, a moment of sadness, or even a loss that left your doorway vulnerable. But now, that opening is sealed with celestial light. Go to that door again. Place your hand lightly against it. Breathe in slowly. Feel how the energy has shifted. The fear, the hesitation, it's gone. You may even feel a faint heat or pressure against your palm. That's the angelic seal locking the entry from further spiritual trespass. There's one last detail they underestimated: your lineage. You are descended from a line of warriors, spiritual, emotional, and ancestral. Someone in your bloodline broke curses. Someone in your family line fought battles others were too afraid to name. And you are the continuation of that power. That is why they targeted you. That is why they came in silence. The black note was a shadow attempt to silence that light. But darkness cannot override what has been divinely ignited. Archangel Michael says, there is still a hidden thread connecting you to this event. A person who has been acting unusually quiet, supportive in a fake way, or suddenly interested in your well-being. Watch how they act around doorways, windows, and quiet spaces. Their nervous energy will reveal them. You may also notice technology acting up, phone calls dropping at certain hours, messages not sending, lights flickering. These aren't technical faults. They are signs that interference was trying to mask the message you were destined to hear. Don't fear this anymore. You're not being hunted, you were being awakened. And now, the shift has finalized. There is a hidden surveillance detail that may shock you. The person who left the note has been documenting your reactions, emotionally and energetically. Even now, they might be seeking signs of fear or breakdown through intermediaries or mutual contacts. But what they're about to witness is not a collapse, it's a divine rise. And that will shake their structure. Archangel Michael says your voice must now reclaim the atmosphere. Over the next 3 days, speak your truth, out loud, privately, or in writing. Your words are your sword. Your story is the light they hope to extinguish. You may start having stronger dreams now. Entire conversations, locations you've never been to, faces you don't recognize but feel familiar. These are spiritual downloads being sent now that your gate has been cleared. The black note might be gone physically, but energetically, it has triggered your elevation. Think of it not as an invasion, but as an initiation. You have passed the test. Still, they may try one last time. A final spiritual poke, something subtle, like a memory resurfacing or a message from someone you've disconnected from. It will be coated in familiarity, but it is laced with manipulation. Do not engage. Your silence will be your sword again. Archangel Michael has now placed 3 guardian rings around you. One at your physical door, one around your body, one around your name. These cannot be broken by spiritual means, envy, or rituals. If you feel emotional in the coming hours, let it happen. The tears are not from sadness. They are old codes leaving your spirit. You are purging every ounce of vulnerability that they tried to exploit. By now, you've likely remembered something, a conversation, a feeling, a moment of déjà vu tied to that 1:13 a.m. knock. That memory holds a hidden truth. You knew. Your soul knew. The note only confirmed what your spirit had already detected. Archangel Michael says, your sensitivity is not weakness. It is divine radar. That's how they were detected. That's how they were stopped. There is also a message coming soon through someone unexpected. A delivery driver, a phone call from a stranger, a message online. Pay attention to these encounters. Hidden in one of them is a key. It may seem unrelated at first, but when it clicks, it will complete the puzzle. Also, revisit your calendar. A date will suddenly jump out at you. That date will align with someone else's movement, someone whose timing was no accident. That's how you'll confirm who orchestrated this. The next full moon will complete the cycle of cleansing. Between now and then, you must do one thing: release attachment to the fear that came with that knock. Let go of the thought that they had power over your peace. They didn't. They never did. All they had was the hope that you would believe in the power of their note more than the light inside your soul. But you didn't. You broke the pattern. Your doorway is now restored. Your presence is now protected. And the shadow that tried to reach you has retreated into silence. The one who left the black note has now entered a period of spiritual backlash. They will experience what they tried to bring into your life. Not because you cursed them, but because truth corrects what is unjustly sent. You don't need to speak revenge. You only need to walk in power. Your peace is louder than their curses. Archangel Michael leaves you with this final instruction: do not seek further information from the black note. Its purpose is complete. Its mission failed. Let it rest in divine stillness. Its energy has been neutralized. If you still have the note, wrap it in black cloth and store it out of sight, or bury it far from your living space. That act will seal its story. It no longer belongs in your energy field. And if you already discarded it, do not retrieve it. Let it go. Your energy has already disconnected. You are free. You are no longer the recipient of silent messages from the dark. You are now the voice that commands light into silence. If you wish to express your support further, you have the option to give super thanks, with contributions of up to $20. Your home is whole. Your name is protected. Your soul is rising. Archangel Michael says, what began as a silent knock has now transformed into a powerful awakening. That moment, 1:13 a.m. on July 18th, will forever stand as a turning point in your spiritual timeline. You were not meant to be shaken. You were meant to be sharpened. The person who planned this believed you were still vulnerable, unaware, and easy to breach. They underestimated your spiritual roots. They forgot the bloodline you carry and the energy that walks with you. But that moment, their single knock, was also their first mistake. You must know now, the spiritual realm has witnessed every second since then. Your reaction, your thoughts, your internal tremors, they were all recorded not just by the one who knocked, but by divine forces who stood watching closely. And what they saw was not weakness. They saw light rising. Your home has now been placed under a form of sacred watch. It may come through dreams or moments of deep silence where you feel something standing guard at your door. This is real. An archangelic presence has been stationed, not just to defend, but to restore. Because what was attempted was more than intimidation. It was a permission request, a spiritual test to see if they could enter your life again through subtle fear. But they were denied. Archangel Michael wants you to understand, fear is the doorway. That's what they wanted you to open. That black note was never about its content. It was about your reaction to it. But instead of crumbling, you elevated. From this moment on, your entrance is cloaked in divine fire. Nothing with ill intent can approach without being exposed. You'll notice this very soon. People who used to feel comfortable near you may begin to act strange, hesitant, or distant. That's not your fault. It's your light. You must now protect what has been activated. The new frequency you've stepped into is pure, but sensitive. Just like a new wound must be covered gently while healing, so must your energy be guarded in these days of restoration. Avoid gossip. Avoid excessive contact with people who constantly bring drama. These are energetic pollutants. Your aura is delicate and growing more vibrant by the hour. Let no one dim it with distractions. Archangel Michael says, "Those who knock in darkness always fear those who live in light." That's why they came at night. That's why they knocked once, not twice. That's why they ran before you opened the door. They know you would have seen them clearly. But clarity has arrived now without needing their face. You've been shown all you need to see, their patterns, their fear, their method. And most importantly, your own resilience. The next few days will bring a divine sign to close this chapter. Watch the skies. A shift in weather, an unusual bird appearing, a specific time showing up repeatedly. These are not just signs, they are timestamps from heaven, marking the final sealing of your home and energy. If you've experienced any physical unease, tightness in your chest, sudden fatigue, pressure around the head, it's part of the spiritual detox. Your body is releasing the last remnants of the disturbance that the black note brought with it. Rest, hydrate, and allow the process. There is someone in your circle who suspects what happened but hasn't spoken yet. They felt it too. Their soul caught the shift, though they may not have the language for it. Soon, their truth will rise, and their confession will bring confirmation you didn't expect. You'll find your voice becoming stronger now. The way you speak, the way people listen, everything is shifting, because spiritual authority has been granted to you. And your words now carry energy that vibrates on higher frequencies.